And,
Okay, we are live right now.
all right, thank you for joining the Special Events Advisory Committee remote meeting for Thursday, January 6, 2020, 2022. Consistent with chapters 20 of the Articles of 2021, this meeting will be conducted by remote participation. The public may not physically attend this meeting, but every effort has been made to allow the public to view and listen to the meeting in real time and participate when necessary. All right, so Jill, are you here?
She's not on yet.
Not on yet? All right, then we'll go to the first item on our agenda, which is the approval of the December 2nd, 2021 meeting minutes. Has everybody reviewed those and any comments or changes? Not seeing any. Anybody have a motion to approve them?
Motion to approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2021 agenda.
Do
Second,
I hear a second?
second,
Roll call vote, please.
Okay, Chad Johnson,
Yes.
Joanne Sinos, yes. Bill Sanborn,
Yes.
Tom Sayers,
yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
and Joe Fitzgerald,
Yes.
and Sal DiStefano.
Abstain.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, for the approval.
All right, I see Jill's on, so it is the next item, but let's get right into the sculpture. Jill, I know you're on a time crunch. Can you give us an update to where we left off last meeting?
Sure. And I apologize. I'm at a new place, so I can't control my volume. I assume you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have no idea what's happening over here.
This is recorded, so we'll use it.
So Joe Lucido and I met on site. Unfortunately, Lucas from the Gloucester Cultural Council wasn't able to join us, but I will update him as well. So I put it in the comments on the permit. So we met on site at 65 Rogers Street, otherwise known as I-4C2. Agreed that that is the preferred location, particularly because the ground is permeable. There is, when you drive down the driveway to that, there's that, I guess it's some sort of wooden structure that at one time was an electrical panel. We're going to, he said it's preferable for the plows to kind of back it up to something, and they may want to light it anyway. So we are going to put it in that area. DPW has agreed to set up the sawhorses in a way to create the barrier. And he agreed that his guys would go down, take a look, see if the panel's still working, and also clean it up a little bit. It's in pretty rough looking shape, so it's a better backdrop for it. And lobstermen and other people who are accessing the dock space there will still be able to get around it. It's preferable for the plows. He said that they would prefer, they're gonna just plow around it, and they would prefer to be responsible for that. So they'll do the plowing, and you can see it from the street. People could then drive down, and they wouldn't even necessarily have to get out of the cars. They could drive down and see it and drive through the parking lot. You could see it if you take the Harbor Walk, and there's some other lighting, the Harbor Walk lighting's right there too. So Joe said he's got what he needs at this time. We do need to further discuss, just to have as a final decision that needs to be made is, does it melt, or at what point does it get removed? So that's the last piece to figure out. But Mark, I saw Mark sign off on the permit, and like I said, as far as Joe is concerned, his questions were answered as well.
Do we expect a lot of traffic to want to come down and see this statue at points?
I have no idea. So this is the first time that this group will have tried this event, done something like this on the same day. The ice sculpture, there's two different places. There's one happening in the morning at the Cape Ann Museum Green, which is completely separate in their thing. And then here, so anyway, we have no idea what to expect. It's January and it's cold, and we're just trying to bring some more people, give some people some fun stuff to do here in town that weekend. So we have no idea what to expect. This is the first time we've done it.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
I wouldn't expect any significant traffic. I don't
Yeah.
expect anything significant.
I just wonder if we needed some type of traffic pattern or something, being that chance so cars don't traffic, but no, we're not gonna expect that many
I
people.
don't think so.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. I think that's a good location. I believe Chad recommended that last time. I think it was a very good recommendation. Thank you, Chad. And I'm glad it worked out. And as far as Melton, I think we had the conversation earlier, Joe. I'm not concerned with it melting there. It's not on brick. It's not gonna cause a slippery condition for the most part, hopefully. And we can have a good place. And even if we needed to create some traffic flow, because it does become a main attraction, I think it's easy done in that lot.
In that lot, yeah.
Down there. Any other questions from anybody else on the members? Any comments? Mark, or DPW is happy with this?
No, we're all set with it, Bill.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments? Any comments? Not hearing any. Can we have a motion?
Motion to accept special event permit number 21-59, ice sculpture demonstration workshop on Saturday, January 22nd, 2022 at I-4C2 Vice Stacy Boulevard.
Second.
Have a
Second.
second? Any further comment? Roll call vote, please.
Sorry, one comment. Do you want me to vote on this today since I'm the one who approved it in the system?
I don't know if you can
Yeah, that's what
with
I
your
was.
new role.
And then the other side of that not now, but for later, let me know if I need to do something to officially appoint Sal as my designee, but, so I'll just mute myself.
And I
Sounds
think
official.
Sal should be able to, where Sal's taking that position, should be able to make that vote for you.
Yes, and also too, we would have to change the viewpoint to have his name, have your name taken off, Jill, on the viewpoint as an approver and put someone else's name in, whether it's temporary or not, to have those permissions to go on viewpoint to approve.
So do we
Okay.
wanna make that change, I can have Vicky do that this afternoon if we want to make Sal it, or do we, is there somebody else, Jill, you may want to make approvals, or?
Yes, Sal can do the approvals, and Sal, Shelley will show you how. Shelley, she'll walk you through it, it's easy.
Looks like
All
you
right.
don't have to worry about that arm wrestling, Sal.
Okay, so we're gonna
Oh,
go and
good.
move on to the roll call. Chad Johnson,
Yes.
Joanne Sinos, yes. Bill Sanborn,
Yes.
Sal DiStefano,
Yes.
Tom Sayers,
Yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
and Joe Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Motion passes to approve, 8 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, next item on the agenda today is the update from DPW regarding the use of Stagefoot Park for special events. Mark, you want to give us an update on that?
All right, so I talked with Mike, and there's a couple projects that are going on this summer. I sent Joanne copies of the 2 projects to be added to the folder. One of the projects is, if it gets approved by, I think they just need the funding approved. I think the idea has been approved by everybody, but they are doing the new Vietnam Memorial, which will be down by the tennis courts. So that doesn't really affect any of the events at the park. It's kind of at the entrance, and we don't usually have anything down at that end. If the funding gets approved, Mike is hoping to have that up and finished by Memorial Day this spring, but that's all going to be depending upon the weather and the funding. I guess he's already spoken with several of the local contractors that we use that'll be doing some of the work. I think there will be some donations possibly from some of our contractors, because I think from what I heard, the contractors are interested in getting this done as well. So the second project, and I think this went before Concom last night, is we had Beta Group come up with an accessibility improvement plan for Stagefoot Park. And I think the first part of it hopefully will take place starting early spring. It'll probably run through the summer. I'm not sure how long. But they're gonna make an accessible pathway that starts right at the entrance gate, I think, to the playground, right by the visitor center. It'll run out behind the visitor center. It will extend out to the Cannon area, and it'll tie in with the end of Lucy Davis walkway. These will be concrete walkways. They'll be handicap accessible. The impact this summer is the area behind the visitor center is one of the areas that we rent out for group outings and cookouts. It's known as Area A. We have blocked that off for this summer because part of it will be taken up within the fencing for the construction area because it'll be going right down the path that runs along there. But as far as any other events at the park, nothing has been brought to us for approval. There's been no funding for anything. So as far as DPW is concerned, the events that we normally have at the park can take place this year, unless somebody presents something to us between now and the time of one of these events. But as of right now, nothing has been presented from the 400th committee, from anybody for any work to be done around the gazebo or down around the lower areas. So we're, at this point, we're moving ahead as normal for the summer of 22.
All right, thank you, Mark. Everybody got those, got the email with Mark's attachments to it? So we all saw what Mark was talking about. On the Cannon project, they show an outline for the whole, for the work area. Is that where the fence is going, or is that just where they're taking?
I think that's where the fence is going, Bill. I'm not sure. I just took a quick glance at these the other day.
Okay,
Mike has been working with Beta on this project. So my guess is the outline that you see is the area that will be within the fencing.
okay, all right. Do you have a map of Stagefoot Park that shows all these areas, outlines where all these areas are for people to rent?
We don't have anything now. We could make something easy enough.
It probably would be helpful for us if we had it, so when we're talking, everybody knows what, you know, when somebody wants to come in and rent A, B, or C areas, and
Okay.
we know what they're talking about in general, so if you could produce something like that, I think it would be helpful to.
All right, I can send you something.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
So do we know if the 400th committee has anything planned for this year?
We haven't been told anything.
So Jill, are you still with us? Do you know?
Yeah, I am.
Do you know if they have a?
Listening,
schedule?
yeah. For this, no, the short answer is no large events that are on the current event calendar for 2022. The events, as I left it, I've been a little distracted from that, but as I left it in December, the big events, there were kind of 4 main events that took place in 2023, one of which would take place at Stage Fork Park.
Okay.
But we're working with that. The 400 is working within the past SEAC calendars too for other events that are typically going on, so as not to cause, you know, too much disruption.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I do not, as of from my, I don't recall any 2022 events that would take place at the park.
Perfect.
in
Yeah,
particular.
me and Joanne were discussing this, and we just don't want to get to the point where we tell somebody a date and then we find out later on we have to tell them they can't have it because
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm gonna be catching back up with them, and they would like to propose coming, kind of coming to the committee with a package of their events, so that in early, you know, probably later this year, this spring, so that you guys, so they can make the calendar quickly. But like I said, we are working within the previous, and I actually think we went back to like 2019 before COVID to look at the SEAC calendar so that we had a sense of what was already going on.
All right, excellent. So that being said, I guess, Joanne, we can start scheduling for events. The only event that I was thinking, there's two of them I was thinking, Mark, that might interfere, but one they don't do anymore. The bike races are gone, right?
Yeah, he's not doing those here anymore.
Okay, and the only other one I think that was down that end, didn't the dog, Animal Aid do a dog show or something down there one time?
Yeah, that was a little bit further up. That was up in the Orchard area. This is gonna be right down across from the tennis courts.
Okay,
And right, like you have the tennis courts, the redesigned garden, and then it'll be the memorial right there. So it'll be in that little opening corner.
okay, perfect. So that shouldn't interfere. It's just the Cannon area that.
Right, I mean, the only thing that would interfere with would be the bike race, and then when they do the cross-country races there in the fall, they come down through that area, so they'll have to change if the memorial was in there, they'll have to change their course at the park if they run at the park.
Okay, perfect. All right. Any other comments, questions concerning this? All right, thank you very much, Mark. One question one thing I wanted to tell you, everybody, right now was at the managers meeting today, the mayor has announced that when we have Zoom, basically all meetings are going to be going back to Zoom because of the high rise in COVID at the moment. But on them, he wants people to see faces. And I'm guessing Mark and Joe probably don't have a very good setup for it. So you really should contact IT so that we can comply with the wishes of Mayor Vernon.
Well, I can do it. I just gotta take my laptop off the docking station. But
Well, that's what I was doing, Mark, and I
just easier to do it right here like this.
So I don't have to do that anymore because I know how difficult it is to do that at times when you want to try to do something. So they do have cameras available at IT if you want to do. That's my first day I'm using mine. So just so everybody knows and you're aware, that's going to be, I believe, is going to be the policy throughout the city for all Zoom meetings that faces are shown. Do we have anything else on the agenda that anybody would like to bring up today? You're muted, Joanne.
The only thing I wanted to bring up about Zoom meetings, if we're still going to continue, the legislative bill expires April 1st for Zoom meetings. I'm assuming they're probably going to extend that at some point. It all depends on the COVID, but I'm not sure. So after April 1st, if they don't extend this bill, we probably have to go back in person. But I would, that would be with, trying to find out with the administration or legal. If you can still continue.
I would hope they would come up with some type of way we can do both, because it appears, I understand, public meetings and the public has to be available to attend them. But it just seems like our experience overall has been more people attend the Zoom meetings than will attend a regular meeting. And such as our committee, it makes it much more convenient for the applicants to attend instead of have to truck down here in the middle of the afternoon when most of them are volunteering for the event they're doing and leaving a job to do so. So hopefully they can take the new technology, merge it with the old and come up with a whole new theory that will work for everybody permanently.
Okay.
So we'll just have to stand by and see how that works.
Yeah, well, February, March will definitely be Zoom. It's just the April one. But hopefully by then someone will make a decision up at the State House to either extend it.
Yeah, hopefully they will. The only other comment I wanted to make today was we've been using Zoom for a while now. I'm sorry, Viewpoint. And I'd like to have the committee members send either me or Joanne their comments on what they think works, doesn't work, what we could maybe work a little better. So that, we're getting ready to get into a new season with a lot of events. And I mean, it's a good time to change it if we need to make changes. So we can do that before the next meeting, and then we can review and see what we have and go from there. Anybody else have any notices, comments, or issues they want to bring up before we adjourn? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded, and can we have a roll call vote, please?
Chad Johnson,
Yes.
Joanne Sinos, yes. Bill Sanborn,
Yes.
Sal DiStefano,
Yes, and thank you, everyone.
Tom Sayes,
Yes.
Mark Cole,
Yes.
Joe Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.